Consolidation is not on this rookie's agenda, as Eddie Irvine discovers to his cost. Barrichello is desperate to make up for his tardy start and finds anything but sympathy from Frentzen. But Ralph's braking catches out Villeneuve with horrendous consequences. Due to the strength of modern Formula One cars, Ralf Schumacher and Villeneuve are perfectly okay. Silver arrows on the podium are quickly shattered. BMW are the next to suffer. Montoya had been on course for some points. It's all set for the toughest race of the year, but we'll have to be patient thanks to an absent-minded Fisichella. Flavio Briatore can barely believe his eyes. Poor parking causes his Italian charge to be sent to the back of the grid. Another Frenchman is out of luck. Panis is okay, but has jettisoned oil, as Minardi's Fernando Alonso quickly discovers. The Ferraris approach the invisible ice rink with predictable results. Both Schumacher and Barrichello are lucky to avoid the barrier, while Villeneuve redefines the term aquaplaning. But heavy braking, dry tyres, plus lots of surface water equals no traction. Rubens Barrichello makes the same mistake, swiftly followed by Fisichella. Verstappen also oversteps the limit of adhesion. If the monsoon conditions persist, Ferrari may regret their gamble. Heartbreak for Barrichello, his Interlagos jinx returns on the installation lap. Fortunately, with Ross Brawn in charge, the spare is quickly readied, just in time to make the grid. The new leader's teammate looks to take fourth from Trulli. But Barrichello scuppers those plans, Ralph loses his rear wing, and Barrichello ends another home Grand Prix in the gravel trap. As Montoya comes up to lap the back markers. However, nothing is ever straightforward in Formula One. Verstappen makes a meal of his braking and changes the course of the race. A frustrating end to a great drive. Schumacher's setup is not getting the best out of the intermediate tyres. Even staying in a straight line is a problem. An excursion into the gravel trap dashes all hopes of victory, and he's not the only one in trouble. It's just as fraught at the tail end. Imola's curbs and a soft brake pedal leave Fernando Alonso a passenger. The mechanics circulate the emergency plan. Montoya hassles Trulli for sixth. Tamburello isn't usually a passing place, but the Colombian ignores convention and muscles his way past. Jacques Villeneuve won't be going much further, as his Honda engine makes it crystal clear it's had enough. Eddie Jordan hasn't seen a lot of positive images on his monitor this season. Frentzen does his best to change that, but putting a wheel on the grass takes both him. It's nearly time for Ralph's first stop, but a locked rear brake puts paid to the German's efforts. The Imola winner quickly comes back down to earth after throwing away fourth place. A potential podium position looks secure for Barrichello until mechanical problems intervene. The diagnosis is a broken rear suspension. The way is clear for Mika Hakkinen to get back into championship contention. It's the last lap, and he's got a substantial lead. But in a cruel twist of fate, the former world champion suddenly slows. The Finn's faulty clutch leads to a more spectacular failure. Frustration doesn't even begin to describe how he and his wife are feeling at the moment. The terminally wounded McLaren is finally laid to rest, handing the race win on a silver platter to Michael Schumacher. Four drivers failed to leave the grid, causing chaos behind. At the front, both Williams quickly relegate Michael Schumacher. Stroll is a little too efficient for Heidfeld. Truly, Schumacher tries the outside line at the Remus curve, but Montoya won't give up that easily, and both drivers pay for their stubbornness. Engine failure continues Button's miserable season so far.
Rubens, it's last lap. Let Michael pass for the championship. Let Michael pass for the championship, Rubens, please.
Time is running out for the order to be obeyed. Coulthard approaches the line for a well-earned victory, while Barrichello makes his feelings abundantly clear by yielding to Schumacher at the last possible moment. As always, the Armco is there to punish the hasty, and Heidfeld is just another victim. And a trip over the curbs here sets him up for more of the same. However, all thoughts of a three-way scrap melt away like Trulli's engine. John Alesi is in 6th. His hold on the last championship point becomes even more secure, while Prost saviour Alesi forgets there's barely enough room to swing a cat at La Rascasse, never mind an F1 car. Fisichella arrives on the scene with disastrous consequences, while the midfield loses yet more members. The latest casualties are Irvine's Jaguar and Heidfeld's Sauber. Barrichello's recovery drive is well underway. But Montoya's mistake forces the Brazilian into suicidal evasive action. Montoya and Barrichello begin the post-mortem. Coulthard has slipped to 4th behind Hakkinen, but that's hardly important now. Finally, stops in the pits. It's Formula One's first sibling 1-2. A fuel pickup problem struck the spare car, which left the pole sitter stranded on the circuit. Schumacher's rescue resulted in a PR nightmare. Once back at the pits, he was able to take the start in his designated race car. Barrichello's rather dreary race is livened up by a spot of rallycross. There's no need for divine intervention though. Jean Alesi makes sure of that by spinning out of 11th place. Irvine's Cosworth also lets him down on the verge of glory. He was running 7th and a points finish looked on the cards, but as Montoya also knows, Formula 1 V10s rarely battle on for adversity. McLaren sneaks ahead, but Trulli won't be dealt with easily. The Italian pays a big price for his fighting spirit, but that'll soon change. While Alonso's challenge almost melted away on the grid. Michael made a dreadful getaway. He's a potential and unavoidable hazard. Luciano Berti's Prost is a wreck, but at least it's still the right way up. De La Rosa shows how not to approach a chicane at the expense of Heidfeld. The Italian's car looks nervous under braking and loses the battle for traction at the Ost curve. Eddie Irvine, whose race lasts a matter of seconds. At the front, Montoya has a setup problem and just keeping the car on track is proving difficult. Enrique Benoldi's error is beyond correction and he's out of the race. Raikkonen's possession of 6th could also be temporary, with more unforced errors like that. Alonso spins out of 17th position, a rare mistake by the Rookie of the Year candidate. Hakkinen can afford to acknowledge his thousands of Hungarian fans. Montoya struggles to stay ahead of Panis, but once again an ill-handling Williams diverts him onto the scenic route. The travelling Tifosi rejoice as Michael Schumacher wins the Hungarian Grand Prix and equals Alain Prost's all-time record and, most importantly, earns his 4th world title. The traditional Schumacher leap is fueled by the fact that Ferrari has retained their constructors' title, scoring nearly double the points of McLaren. Maranello's finest have crushed the opposition. Both championships have been wrapped up with 4 rounds to go. Bertie gets too close to Irvine with the worst possible result. Emerged unscathed and helps the marshals in the desperate scramble to get medical aid to the Brazilian. Sensibly, the race is stopped. A rear wing problem leads to Ralf Schumacher's bizarre predicament. The mechanics ran out of time while fixing it. Ferrari's bulletproof package allows race leader Schumacher to throw caution to the wind. Häkkinen fights off the attention of Barrichello, who has dropped to 5th. But the Finn won't have to worry about the Brazilian. More frustration for Eddie Jordan as Trulli's Honda engine chooses the self-destruct option. Mayhem ensues. Häkkinen misses the chicane completely, while Button uses Trulli as a brake, putting the Jordan out of commission. More Renault engine woes for Button, who was running last after his collision with Trulli, while 5th place Coulthard's Mercedes V10 also signals its demise in spectacular fashion. While an experienced hand goes out, rookie Alex Young finds his limits. Ralf Schumacher has had a lackluster race, and it doesn't get any better. And he now targets the top 10, but his competitive instincts get the better of him, and Villeneuve pays the price. Ross Brawn prepares for the inevitable, and Barrichello's V10 delivers. The Brazilian breaks as late as he dares into the chicane. The Frenchman edges ever closer, but that counts against him when the Finn suffers suspension failure. The wrecked cars finally come to rest. The rookie and the veteran had a lucky escape. Relief, tinged with disappointment at the Jordan garage. This is hardly the way to end a distinguished Formula One career. Rubens does get out first, but Ralf isn't prepared to accept 6th position and uses every bit of track, and some he shouldn't, to get ahead. But a momentary problem slowed the Brazilian, and that could get Williams off the hook.